Hi, it's Anthony from OQplay.com, and today we're checking out the VR dumbbells from KIWI Design for the Oculus Quest 2. These are a pair of weights that attach quite aesthetically to the touch controllers for your Oculus Quest 2, and it basically adds a little extra weight to the controllers. So if you're using these for fitness, they're going to add a little bit more extra weight to your arms, and therefore you're going to do a little bit extra workout during your VR fitness sessions. So if you put on the pounds over the Christmas holiday period and you're going through that fitness regime right now, then you might want to check these out to improve your VR fitness and burn a couple of extra calories along the way. All right, let's check out what's inside the box. Right, so here's everything that comes inside the box. You get a carry pouch to keep everything in. So unless you're just doing fitness in your Quest 2, you probably won't want to have these dumbbells attached to your Quest 2 controllers all the time. So these at least keep them clean and protected when they're stowed away and not being used. Right, you get a small manual to tell you how to attach everything and get everything set up. You get the 2 dumbbell parts to the controller, and you get 6 weight adapters. So this is all the elements in the VR dumbbells that have been broken down into their various elements. You've got the cup that goes on the inside. You got the ball bit that goes on the outside of the controller. This is a fastening screw that goes onto the thread here on the outer part of the controller, and it keeps all the weights in. Then you've got 6 of these plastic pieces. Each one of these discs weigh just over a gram. So with 3 of them together, you've got 5 grams of weight. Then you've got the metal discs. These are 50 grams each, and with 3 together, it's going to be 150 grams of weight. So that's quite heavy on the actual hands itself. We're not going to be curling weights here. It's just going to give you weight on the controllers. And if you think how fast you've got to throw these punches in some of the VR fitness games, then this extra weight is definitely going to add a few extra resistance in your punches as you punch. You've got to use 3 per compartment. You can have 1 weight and then have 2, just over a gram of weights just to bring it together. So with 2 of these and the weight, you've got 50 grams. If you have 2 of these and a plastic weight, that's going to be 100 grams. And then if you have all 3, that's 150 grams. And with all the 3 plastics together, that's just going to be 5 grams. So we're going to go all out. We're going to do the whole lot. So let's get this on our left controller here. So you basically have to put this cup end in first. Don't do what I did just earlier and put the whole thing. They don't tell you to remove the whole thing completely. They just give an illustration of this. And I assume that this was actually underneath still attached. And I almost split my sensor ring apart just by trying to wedge this in. What you have to do is you've got to put the empty bit in first. So you flop that in there like that. Then you bring the top end, you put that in over the top. You've got like a small square ridge at the bottom here, like a recess. That goes facing down over the controller, like that. So that just stays in place. That sits in the middle there. And then we basically add our weights in the ring. So we've got all 3 there. And then you basically put this top back on and screw it in place. And then that's going to sandwich the front bit in with the back bit where all the weights are. That's why you need 3, otherwise they'd be jangling around inside and it's not going to give you a tight fit. And then there we go, that's it, fully attached. So now we're going to put our strap back on, and then there we go. That's our controller for the left, and that does feel very weighty. Almost because it's front heavy, it does feel like it's tipping forward. So I guess you have to feel the right weight, like where you're punching, you're going to get a lot more weight going forward at the top. It's not going to be here sort of bringing your hands down, which is a shame. You kind of want the weight here for me rather than at the top. But so any resistance is good resistance when it comes to fitness. So I'm sure this is going to do something when we actually get around to doing some of the VR fitness games. This sensor is still going to work. Unfortunately, you won't be able to use this with the Halo protector because it goes over the lip of the sensor ring, and you won't be able to do that with this. And I think even KIWI's own plastic sensor rings, I don't think that will work with this too. I'll try that in a minute. If your thumb needs extra room to breathe, then this is going to get in the way of that. Yeah, my thumb, the top of my thumb is hitting the top here, so it is something that will get in the way. It's not something I want to have whilst playing any other game. But when you're in fitness, you're not really pressing the buttons much. It's all motion, and you're not going to be touching any of these front-facing sections other than navigating through the menus. That's what they look like. They're definitely weighty with 150 grams of extra weight. I think that's just over half the weight of the Quest that's on each of these controllers here. So that's a fair chunky bit of weight. So that's definitely going to add a lot of friction in the fitness. We'd be burning a lot more calories from it. All right, so let's get this in a couple of games, and I'll get back to you with my impressions.
A few moments later.
Right, so I've played a couple of games, a couple of fitness games, some Beat Saber, some Pistol Whip, and some Zero Caliber. Fit XR is very good with these. They're very weighty. I've just weighed them. They're 360 grams, all with this attachment with its 150 gram metal rings inside. And the weight of my strap on it too, and the battery inside too, and these AMVR covers. An all-round 360 grams of weight. I did some research to see how much a Glock 44 weighs, and that's 358 grams. So the weight of this is the same as an empty Glock 44 pistol, and you've got to add about 250 grams to 300 grams with a magazine fully loaded inside. So the pistol's quite heavy. I didn't realize that, and this is quite heavy in itself. And what I'm getting at is that in fitness games it's great, but also in shooting games it's pretty good too, because it gives you that weight sensation of the pistol that you're firing. And trying it in Pistol Whip with the Glock pistol to give you sort of similarities, and also in Zero Caliber when you're holding a rifle with both hands, you do get a good sensation that you are holding a rifle of that weight. It kind of gets all lost when you start to change the magazine and cock the rifle back, because obviously you're still carrying that weight in your hand as you do that action. So you tend to lose it a bit there. But just generally holding the rifle in some shooting games, you really do get a sense of the weight with these on. So that's an area that I wasn't expecting to get out of these, because I thought these were just solely for fitness. One thing I did notice is that the tracking had a bit of an issue for shooting games, at least. When you're holding them this close to your face and this one's slightly further behind, the dome can kind of come out a little bit too much, and I did lose a little bit of tracking on some of the rifles that I was using with these controllers with these attached. So they might not be a great solution generally for shooters, but if you want the added weight for Pistol Whip, at least with single pistol shooters for example, then it's actually pretty good. But when it comes to double and the tracking, you might lose it just a little bit, but it was like probably 90% of the time it was actually alright, so that was alright. One thing with these being used as fitness though, or being used in general, I felt that you definitely need these attached to either a wrist strap or more preferably a knuckle strap, because the weight is really tipped forward and you can't really rest your hands if you haven't got a knuckle strap attached. So if you were to get these, I really would recommend getting either the KIWI straps or these, and use a knuckle strap at least, because it really helps, especially with boxing, because you can get a little bit tired and the front weight as you punch flips forward, and that kind of tilts the controller in terms of weight. And if you haven't got a knuckle strap on, I can feel that you could not lose grip of them, because you should be gripping them anyway, but you kind of the controller starts to flip forward out of your hands. So with a knuckle strap, you've got to get that security of it staying in your hand should you lose grip of the controller as you punch. But generally for punching games with the 150 gram weight inside, they really are a tough addition to your general fitness, because it really takes some effort to do very fast punches, especially in hit training sessions in games like Fit XR, where you need lots of speed to hit some of these targets, and with the weights that's going to slow you down. So obviously that's going to improve over time once you get used to the weight, and especially when you take them off, things get way more quicker when you take the weights off as well. But I'm probably going in too deep with the 150 grams. It's probably a bit too much, and I think you should probably gradually go up if you're going to take this seriously and you're going to buy a set of these. I would definitely go with the metal weight first, and then 2 plastic, and then just start to swap out the plastic for the metal as you go up, if you want that little bit more resistance in your training. But I think the construction is good. I like the construction of that. It's in keeping with the whole controller. The color scheme and the color matching is pretty good. It was let down with the manual not describing to take everything apart before attaching it to the controller. So I really did think I broke my controller ring apart by trying to force the whole thing through. But luckily I did stop and I reread the manual and it made sense to take the whole thing apart. I like to have seen some small incremental weights, but I think with the 6 plastic and 6 metal rings, you could get a good enough combo to get the weight that's enough for you to deal with in general fitness games, or if you just want a small little extra weight of front pressure to mimic some sort of gun weight. But you're never going to get the actual real gun weight unless you put some more heavier rings inside this to get up to nearly 600 kilograms, which is pretty heavy for a pistol. But for general fitness goes, even with Beat Saber, you can really feel the weight and it really does slow you down slashing for the cubes as you play in Beat Saber, especially when you play an expert or any higher and you have to really hammer through some of the cubes. Doing it with extra weight on, it really does add a little extra bit of difficulty there. And for pistol whip, it also helps too, because you've got to have your arm held out stretched for a long period of time. And if you're doing it with these controllers for a long period, especially in hard, medium and difficulty modes where you're swinging this around a lot more, you're definitely going to get the extra calories burned with these attached too. So as fitness goes, these are a really great accessory if you are looking for that. It's not something I would want to have permanently attached to my controllers, unless you're looking for fitness in general and you want to build your grip or your strength in your wrists, for example, then this might be a really good addition to your fitness regime if you use VR in general for your fitness. It's currently retailing on their website for $61.99, and there's a 30% gift code that's currently running on their website at the moment. So with the gift code, that will take it down to $43.39, or the equivalent in your own money. And that's still a little bit steep, if I'm honest. For this, you really have to be into your fitness and seeking extra challenge if you want to be paying that amount of money for this particular accessory. But if you are looking for an accessory that's looking to challenge you in your VR fitness, or if you've gone as far as you can with your VR fitness and you want something to add a little extra difficulty in your fitness sessions, then I'll definitely have a look into these VR dumbbells from KIWI Design for your Quest 2. Alright, thanks for watching, and I hope you found this video helpful. If it has, leave us a like down below and let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions about these VR dumbbells from KIWI Design. You can check out all my other accessory reviews up in this playlist here. Hit that subscribe button down below to catch all my future content, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye.